One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Okay, hello. Okay, cool. Okay, 1, 2. Just sound checking at the moment, guys. 1, 2. This mark is there's no stand for this mark, you know what I'm saying? 1, 2, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 1. Test it. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 1, 2. Okay. Okay, what are we talking about today, man? What's the crack today? I think we talk about maybe football. Yeah, we'll do this vlog on football. I haven't really thought about it. I should have probably prepared in advance, but I don't know a bit about the subject. Yeah. Still not familiar with this mark, which is so different. The sound coming out this side and this side is unbelievable. 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2. I don't know what is better side. It's really difficult to work this out. You know what I'm saying? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's a bit unclear. Maybe the top. I don't know. The top getting stereo or something. I'm not really sure, guys. You have to tell me what's best. I really don't know. I can't work this out. 1, 2, 1, 2. So like 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2. Yeah. Okay, so football in the lockdown. What's been happening? What's been going down? Football in the lockdown. Oh, what's been happening? What's been going down? Football in the lockdown. Yeah, Klopp still ain't got his premiership. And the Liverpool women might be being relegated. Who knows? What a fun season it's been. Who knows? Yeah. Yeah. Football. Well, the, you know, it's this weather. Everyone should be out playing football in the park. The park is empty. I go to the park, it's empty. Everyone should be playing football in this weather on the beach, in the parks. Now I have to play in our house. I seen Arsenal Football Club going back training today, actually. They're going training, well, sometime today, I think. I'm not sure. That's the plan. That was an exclusive from one of the channels I just subscribed to. Not the well-known one, a different one. It's an exclusive, I think. Um, Yeah, they're going to train in London Corner, have to do social distancing, have to arrive separately, and blah blah blah. Because the manager, he got the sickness and recovered from it. Yeah, like I think I've done, but it's going to be a test. I think so. A little fun prank that there's going to be a test, and I don't tell if you've got the antibodies, but yeah, football. It's called the beautiful game, but they're ruining it. The VAR, the video assistant referees. Yeah. What's been happening this season has been a total outrage in the Premiership, UK, in England, Wales, whatever, FA, the Premiership. They have a screen at the side of the pitch that the referee can go and check his decision. I've not seen it used once. In the World Cup, in the Women's World Cup, they use it all the time. In the World Cup as well. No, they didn't do it in the World Cup. They did it in the test, another tester, CONCACAF or something like that, not like a global cup. Anyway, to test it, and at least the ref is taking responsibility for his decision. He's not relying totally on the external people. Understand? No, and so what's happening is the refs make it just saying anything basically. They don't really care, right? And they go, right, oh, now you decide. And it's taking 5 minutes for these people somewhere else. They're not even on the pitch, not even looking at it, not even in looking at the situation, what's going on. It's taking 5 minutes for them to come up with millimeters of the fans that they've celebrated their goals. They've gone mad to celebrate the goal. And then they're waiting 5 minutes to work out if they're going to be not celebrating this or the other players, fans are going to be celebrating, right? This is a game of 2 halves, 45 minutes, plus a bit of injury time. Normally in the first half, there's a little bit added on, 1 or 2 minutes. So normally 45, 46, 47 minutes, 15-minute break, and then the next 45 minutes, and then there's often, like say, 5 minutes extra time. All right. So you pretty much know, and the fans know as well. They can schedule their travel arrangements around this as well. Often, okay, if there's a cup game, it's different. You got maybe extra time, whatever. That's different. But just a normal game, we're talking. So you got 90 minutes plus a minute extra in the first, plus 15 minutes is 16 minutes. So 90 plus 16 plus 5, 90 plus 21, 111 minutes total. So you pretty much know that. And you've got to get into the stadium, you got to get out. But you can time your schedules around 2 hours possibly for a normal game. You can if this, it takes a lot of time to leave. But if you want to leave early, if you have to leave early, you could. But I like to be able to stay to see the end of the game, right? So 2 hours. Okay, so you arrive, say it's a nighttime game, 7:45. So you should know that you're going to be able to get out of that stadium starting to leave around 9:45. Now, say that this VAR, you've had 3 or 4 VAR decisions of 5 minutes. Okay, you're talking going beyond 10 o'clock. Now, say your last train back from, say, somewhere in London, back at, say, it could be 11. Now, you're waiting around till 10:15 or something, and you're stressing you're going to catch your last train. So that's what I'm saying. The people that look in my house all the time, a particular person who annoys me, a very ugly woman. Anyway, is that tune from the Sugar Babes? If you're ugly, then so am I. Anyway, yeah, Sugar Babes, Sugar Bandas. I rap the Sugar Bandas. Anyway, I'm digressing. Onto music, which is a different subject. There's links actually. It is the entertainment business. Professional football is the entertainment business, really. Like league football, like professional football. People paying big money to go and see it. It's an entertainment. People play football. That's sport, entertainment in a different way. But it's an entertainment industry. People, these male football players are being paid in excess of what rock stars and film stars are being paid. But I said, well, I don't know about film stars because they can get I don't know, £50 million per movie, and that might take them a year to make, I suppose. So, but some of these football stars are on so-called stars. They're on what? They're on 50 mil a year. 15 to 20 mil a year. So okay, Hollywood stars a bit more. Let's go Hollywood, Premiership, and then music. I've seen that Dua Lipa. She earned 26 mil in the bank 1 year. 26 mil, I think. Was it 13 and then 26, or she doubled it anyway? She doubled her money. So some pop stars, football stars, they're on a sort of level. Hollywood, it's a similar level. The males and in the football, the women in the pop world and the film world, that can bump it up. But the women in the football world, they haven't been able to do it yet, even though they're getting audiences of like 80,000. 80,000 they get audience more than the men. The more people will turn up for a women's game. I've seen it, and that's a very similar crowd will turn up for a women's game. I was at a game, 77,000. England Germany at Wembley, 77,000. Okay, probably might. It was a sellout basically. It was a sellout. Some people didn't turn up because it was raining, but it was pretty much a sellout. And it would be the same for English men. Would be the same. It would be a similar attendance. To be however that be sold out, and then 77,000 would turn up because they don't. So that's pretty much exactly the same for the men and the women. The women are being paid probably 1/200th the wage of the men. 1/200th. So if I'm going to work in a minimum wage, like say I'm going to a job now at £10 an hour. All right, the woman, she being paid she would be paid so say I'm gonna clean up this flat, right, and I'm a man. Okay, okay, and say I'm asking someone, he walks in this door, right? Okay, can you clean up this flat, right? And for the man, £10 an hour. The woman walks in, I say, okay, right, 20p an hour. That's 200. Is that 200 or 50p an hour? Is it 200? Or is it 5p an hour actually? I think it's 5p an hour because it's 200. Yeah. So the man walks in. Mr. X walks in. Right, here you go, £10 an hour, clean this flat up, please. Okay. Woman walks in, 5p an hour, 5p per hour, so that's per day. So she's done 8 hours, 40p. I'll give her 40 pence, so 50 cents to clear up this flat. Okay, and the man, I'm giving £80. This is what's. I don't understand why the women haven't gone on strike, basically. From the clubs, they should. There's one club in England that pay equal wage to the men and women. Lewes FC in Sussex, East Sussex. I don't understand any new club that is set up. They surely have to have equal wages. I don't understand that. Why not? Because the women are publicising it more than the men. There's much more. They're bringing in much more new audience and better, like a sort of more. I don't say better, but like it's a more interesting crowd. Like the fact that women's game, you can walk all the way around the pitch, not get into any scraps enough, and you try and walk around the Premiership and go into the away end, and vice versa. You get beaten up straight away. Women's game, we just sort of like we're kind of like bands, sledging, like in the cricket, sledging. That's yeah. So that's that. But I can understand why they're not going on strike. They love it. They want to play football. It's like a job for them. You know what I mean? But for the men, it's there's so much money in the game. I know it's a cliche. There's so much money in the game. There is, but then with that amount of money, are you playing for the badge? All right, are you playing for the money? With the women, they're obviously playing for the badge. They're playing for the love of it, obviously, because they're just being paid normal wage, literally. They're being paid like the same as a postman or something. Like that, I think most of them are being paid the same wage as a postman, post worker, postal worker. You know, okay, there's a lot of perks. There's perks. You know, they have perks. It's it's fun. It's fun. They get to go around the world and stuff like this. It's great, but and they get to meet people and stuff. But yeah, no. And this male wet that's gonna bankrupt the clubs. Actually, they keep having to pay the men this wages. So, but no, that's what's happening. It's not my. I do own some shares in a football club. Actually, to tell you the truth, on 250 preference shares in Celtic FC. The shares, they give me 6% interest each year, and I've had them for when did I buy them? I've had them shares for 20 years or something. So they've paid for themselves. But Celtic is one of the only publicly listed clubs. All the rest of them have been privatized, taken over by fake sheikhs and all this shit. Well, they're not fake sheikhs, they're real sheikhs. And taken over by Americans. The Gunners have been taken over by American. It was run by Diamond Merchant before, I think David Daney was into diamonds. That's how he made his money. He ran it before, and it was a pretty tight ship. But there's some bad decision. They got rid of Rocastle, which was pretty unforgivable. I don't understand that. That's unforgivable. Ruined him. Don't know what happened there. Yeah. Him and Paul Davis were like tight, and you had that was unbelievable. But what else? And he brought in weak managers like Bruce Rioch, who was there for what I don't know what. Well, man, could have been good, but he got rid of him. Don Howe even had Don Howe as a manager, the most boring fucking manager you could imagine in your life. No wonder they come out with boring Arsenal. It's a strange club. It's a very, very strange club, Arsenal. They're a big club. They're a very successful club in history. And the only top club in the English never to be relegated. They've got the Invincibles, that record that season. They never got beat in the men's game. The women have won the equivalent of the Champions League. They've got, which was a quadruple, I think, that year. They're surely the most successful English women's club. In Europe, you've got Lyon, I suppose. Lyon and Arsenal women, like the top level, like the top. But there's competition, obviously, now coming in. What else? The FA Cups. I think they've won more FA Cups than anyone else. But they're very strange policy with managers and with the ownership. Previously they had quite an interesting ownership set up where they had public ownership and public ownership. So you could buy into Arsenal and have but then it got bought out. Okay, and the managers had starting from say from the mid-70s. I think there was Terry O'Neill, Irish. I think probably Irish background. He very successful, got 3 FA Cups in a row, but only won one of them, and that was a comeback against Manchester United. But he probably won Charity Shield and stuff like that. I can't really remember. I know he lost one. That's Liverpool. No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was a comeback, but it was when that FA Cup final, 79. It was 2-0 to Arsenal at half time, and then it was Manchester United came back in the 89th minute or something. It was 2-1, then it was 2-all in the 90th minute or something, and the 93rd minute Arsenal scored. So it was 3-2. Anyway, that's digressing. But the manager, I think, was Terry Neal. Then I think it went, they sacked him, I think. And then it was Don Howe. I can't exactly remember. And it was there was George Graham next. No. Might have been George Graham, ex-Tottenham, ex-Spurs. Scottish George Graham. And then, was it George Graham then Don Howe? I don't remember exactly. It's quite early in the morning. I've got a phone. I could bring it up on the Google, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try and do this to remember it. And then we had, what was it? I think it was Bruce Rioch. There might have been some. Anyway, cut a long story short, Wenger. The Wenger period started, I think, in 97. He was a manager he's from like French-German border, Strasbourg area, somewhere like that. And also Luxembourg border as well. So sort of right in the center of Europe, basically. And so he probably speaks French and German. He probably speaks English. He was working, I think, for Monaco. I think he was their manager. Then he moved out to Japan. He working out there. Okay. Which is unusual. But this is 20 years ago. More than 20 years ago. You know, it wasn't so mobile. People weren't so mobile. It was mainly British managers in the English league. And I think it was pretty much all British managers in the English league. I don't know if there was a foreign manager. Anyway, like Irish, English, Scottish managers mainly. Anyway, he was recruited. Okay, and they'd obviously done their research, done the homework, and they recruited him. Wenger. And pretty much straight away, I think he hit the ground running. I think already in the next season, what was it, 96, 97, 98? Anyway, pretty much straight away is won the League Division 1 as it was then. I think it was called that, English Football League 1. Not sure when, or was that the Premiership? I don't know when was that the Premiership already. I can't remember. Could it be in Premiership already? I can't remember when Premiership came in. Maybe it was 92. Was that earlier? Might have been. I can't remember these things, you know, because it's all on the statistics on the internet, and you know, or in football encyclopedia. You can read a book about. You know, there's books is a better way actually, really, to pull up these. You're comfortable here. Just move this 1 second. What's going on here? Trying to get comfortable. It's difficult. I need a mic stand. You know what I mean? Drinking this morning is interesting. Monster Punch. A little bit of whiskey. Just a little sip. Ooh, this is. Move this out of the way because this is annoying me now. Yeah, and when Wenger come in, he's very much about the diet. He's on about nutrition. Look at all this. B vitamins and stuff like that. He was into all that. This is not saying he'd say drink this especially, but and they're starting up the road now. Now they're going again. certain time day to record in this home studio, and when you get no noise, but they were actually, she was out actually early with her dog walking, actually, when I think about this. It used to be, so I see, I think, I suppose the dog wake up with the dawn or something, and the dog, it's like that animal, they're more in tune with their biorhythms. I think these days we've got so much electricity buzzing around, artificial lights, all sorts, and we've got distractions, mobiles and all sorts are distracting us all the time. Yesterday morning, I had some maniac from up the road. I'm trying to chill on my couch here. I'm like chilling on my couch, and he's putting his head in the fucking window, and it's literally stark entire stuff. You know what I mean? I was freaked out. I was like, F off, right out, straight away. Anyway, I'm digressing. Back to football. So Wenger come along. It's very successful. He's in the job for, I think his Invincibles year was 2004, 2003, 2004, when he didn't lose a game that whole season. So obviously his right high, his stock, if you want, is high as anything. He could have gotten to any club in the world, literally any. He could have managed any national team in the world at that point. I think any club he could have gone to, any national team he could have managed. France, I presume. I don't know. Anything. Could have managed England. I'm sure they would have tired him, obviously. But no, he's stuck with Arsenal. Okay. Now the next stage was. Now I don't know who decided this to actually made the decision to move out of Highbury. That would be fascinating to know the ins and outs of that, the board meetings, and then maybe there might be public record of this board meetings and so on. Anyway, because it was a public club at the time, pretty sure. So there might be public records of these meetings and reports and so on of what's going on. Anyway, a decision was made to move out of the ground a bit as well. It wasn't their original ground. They were originally from South London, Woolwich. So this is the second move, if you want, the second big move. From Woolwich to North to Islington, and this Islington Council, they wanted to keep them in their borough because they could have maybe gone to Wembley or was built outside the borough. I don't know where, maybe Camden or who knows. Anyway, where Islington, they said, right, you move up over the railway line into the Avenel Road, yeah. Now, and they built flats, and it's a big sort of complex. It's like modern football stadium, all-seater, all right, all-seater, because that's the law. That was another thing that came in after the Hillsborough incident. That was one of the things, I think it's to do with that. There was other stuff as well bubbling around in the background, the Heysel. There was a Bradford fire, Heysel. These were the big, three of the big ones. Hillsborough, Heysel, and Bradford. And this was a background. Heysel was anyway. You know all this, and people know football and all this stuff. You can look it up. Anyway, so they bring in all-seater. That was their solution. But this is something I mentioned before. You can have safe standing. You can. Nowadays, they've got the way of surely of, Oh, and by the way, the big thing with the Hillsborough incident was the fences. That Purple Men crushed against the fences, whereas Arsenal, we've never had fences. So that sort of thing would be very, very. I don't see exactly how that could even happen at Highbury. That kind of setup. If there's a crush from the back, well, people will just go onto the pitch area, just step over the fence. Whereas obviously, if it's a big, massive metal fence, it's evil. Basically, so we've never had that. We've never had that problem. Our fans are civilized people. We don't need to cage our fans in. You know what I mean? Not like that. Well, that was the case, but now it's changing. Now you're having these people, they're not uncivilized. They're allowing them into the stadium. It's not good. So I changed my stadium. I go to a different stadium now. Meadow Park, I think it's called Meadow Park. Yeah, it's my stadium now, and nice stadium. I got other stadium. I got my local stadium where I live, stuff like that. I changed the name of that now. But anyway, so yeah, that's what's going down in football at the moment. You have to get away from the VAR. That's one problem. The VAR. The other problem is being forced into sitting where you might not even want to sit. Like it's boring. It's just sitting watching a game of football. I don't mind sitting back and watching a game of football. I mean, you got these executive boxes. I suppose you can sit, you can stand. But no, the whole atmosphere of football is the crowd is sucking. It's called when they suck the ball into the net. That was the thing about, say, Anfield. They have the what is it? The cop is it? The cop, and there's like the shed. Is that Millwall or something? The shed. I can't even remember the names of these. We had the North Bank and we had the Clock End, two ends. We had both ends. I think sometime if there's a big away contingent, how did it work? The away contingent get half the Clock End, something like that. Or that's what it used to be. Something like that. Yeah, I think that was what it was. And then that was the standing. It's confusing because you call them the stands are where you sit, and the standing areas are terraces. Okay, we had the terraces, which was the North Bank, which was it was covered like up to a degree. It was like if you I don't know if I have to draw a diagram or something. Let me right, so this is I just do this with my right hand at the moment and try and do it both. I think what I remember that was covered and that was covered. Yeah, it was like this. So this is clock and this is NB. Okay, that's my 2-second sketch of Highbury from a plan point of view, looking from the air. So what we have here I used to come in. Well, you can come in either side. This entrance or this entrance. This is the stand. This is the terraces where you stand. This bit was covered. This is the pitch here. This was the home end and the away end, so called. And then you had the stands. This was where the trophies and this is like the trophies, and this is the other stand. This is where you sit on east and west. I can't remember which way. Anyway, north, south. I suppose North Bank now. So this must have been. That must have been west stand on that side. So that must have been the west stand and the east stand. East stand was like where you buy all the tickets and stuff like that. And this was Clack End, big Clack, and this was all open originally, all open. And the away fans that come in this half. So that's why when I go to my Meadow Park, it reminds me so much of it because it was exactly the same setup. You got this standing area which is covered. You got this area which is open pretty much, and the away fans, I think they go somewhere down here if they want to stand, and if they sit, they're here or something. It's very similar setup to the Highbury, very very similar. and this is like the clubhouse and all that. And, yeah, it's very similar. Anyway, what was my point about that? The point was no fences, and and to have no fences, you've got to be a relatively civilized bunch of people. You can't just be, just wanting to bash each other to death when you walk in to watch a football game. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you can fucking get some tensions out. That's the whole idea of a Saturday game, isn't it? Nowadays, like they're saying, with the men's game, how many games are actually scheduled for 3 o'clock on a Saturday, which was the traditional time for football? 3 o'clock on a Saturday. How many games are scheduled like that? There's only 1 or 2 in the season. They're playing Saturday morning or like Saturday lunchtime, which is should be okay to play then. Saturday evening, Sunday lunchtime, and Sunday evening. But you never know. There's no fixed time, to know when you go. You just knew, it was like the end of the school week or whatever. At the end of the week, a Saturday afternoon, you're going to watch football with your mates, and you just pay the dollar to go in. And no, now you just don't know where you're at. That's sort of quite like the women's game. At least there's a schedule. You pretty much know that it's although it's difficult to make it. I think it's like 12:30 on a Sunday morning, or sometimes they change it. They make it 2:30 or 2 o'clock, I think, or something like that. But it's pretty fixed schedule basically for the league game. As long as you get to that ground by about 12:30, and you can pay cash and go in normally as well. Same, and it's less cash. It's similar to it's like it's back in the day. It was like an hour's wage or something. An hour's work, and it's the same for the women. You pay an hour's wage or something to go in. Let's go. Well, the men, you don't know when you're gonna go there. When you're gonna, if you're gonna get in, because there's so much security. You just have to probably say the wrong thing, and they'll be like, I don't know, on you or something. It's like mad security. It's just crazy stuff. And you're being body frisked and stuff like that. Why? Why am I being body frisked to go into a stadium? They've got technology. They don't need all that. They should know the people as well by first, really. Then just. I suppose that's part of the modern day life, but still, I don't know. No, they do it a different way up at the bottom with this smash turnstiles. You know what I mean? No, it really gets me. It really gets me going, this subject, understanding the football game. I can't sit down. I went to see England and Germany. I think I mentioned at the beginning. You have to sit down. But they allow them to do the Mexican wave when they stand up, and do Mexican wave. But if you want to stand up, even like the last 20 minutes, it was getting exciting, right? I think it was 1-1. Yeah, it was 1-1. It was 1-1 at half time, even, I think, was it? So. Oh, that's my fridge going off now. I don't know if you can hear that. Not sure if you can hear that on the mic. Maybe not. I can hear it in the background. Yeah, no, the 1-1 at half time, coming up to the last 20 minutes. Well, why doesn't everyone just stand up? Or some people. I stood up, but I was near the front. This woman behind me. Sit down. Oh man. Well, why don't you just stand up and we just watch it? No, she can't be bothered to get up her lazy effing ass to fucking ass, a lazy old ass to watch that. Lazy ass to watch that game. No. Just to tell me to sit down. Oh, smart. Stupid. just ruins the vibe. When you're bouncing, it's just whack at a football match. You know what I mean? Like terraces, you can't bear that experience on the terraces. So, 40 minutes in, what are we going to do? Another 5 minutes on football? I could talk all day on football, literally. No, player of the season for the Gunners this year. I mentioned it before. Daniel Van der Donk. I've never seen such the pay. It reminded me actually. I've seen the match. I've seen a bit of a match the other night on the YouTube. Chelsea versus Lyon in the second leg of the Champions League, the Women's Champions League thing. I think they must have drawn. Anyway, they went out. I think. Pretty sure they must have done. They haven't won it. No, not only Arsenal have won the Champions League. Women in the UK and Ireland. And Erin Cuthbert, I think she's got. I don't know how you spell Erin. Erin Cuthbert. She done a similar thing. I'm not. She's buzzing. The speed. She's like closing people down. And I think maybe Daniel Van der Donk has watched this, or vice versa. I don't know what. But she's doing this now. You know, she's hassling. And not giving them. They don't know. They know they have to be. If they're going to pass the ball back to the goalkeeper, they know that she's doing it all the game right up to the end. So they know they can they pass it back to the goalkeeper? Is it going to be cut out? So they got to look, check round. Oh, is DVD there? Smart, but it's not just that. That's the so that's one aspect of the game. But obviously she's she's doing assists. I haven't looked at the stats because Pepper from AFTV, who I like, she's an excellent commentator on football, and I met her as well at the game. She interviewed me. It's funny, and she never even put her in the top 10 of the top 10 of the English Super League. Women's Super League. If the women's Super is not English, it's Women's Super League, isn't it? Because I could probably have a Welsh team in there. But anyway, there's a point where they could have a Scottish team. I'm not sure how that works actually. Well, maybe that should be looked into. Get Glasgow City in that league. That'd be interesting. It's a Tesco lorries. That's 43 minutes. So yeah. Lost my train of thought with that Tesco lorry riding up there. 1 second, guys. I've been trying to work out. This is digression. I've been trying to work out this leg. I've got more water retention than this one. There's something wrong with this leg here. 45 minutes gone by. All right. I'm gonna end this stream in a second. I might come back and think about it. Maybe come back later in the day. I'm not really sure, but lose